evening, Twitch. How you doing? It's Tuesday night. We've been having a good day so far, and we got a little more Christmas shopping done. I know I'm kind of focused on that, but that's the way it is. And I bet honestly most of you are probably sitting down and playing some Overwatch, enjoying the new Christmas patch. And enjoying also playing, they just pushed out the Symmetra update too. Which, for a guy like me who mains Symmetra, you know, primarily I enjoy playing it the most. I'm having a little bit of fun. Still not noticing the impact that would help Symmetra in the long term. It's obviously the game's in a major state of chaos right now. New patch, new changes and such, so a lot of people are actually going to be playing around with new characters, which is a great opportunity if you want to increase your rank. I'm honestly kind of tempted to actually go for 3,500. Go for that master level of ranking, because heck, I already just got up to 3,100, surprisingly enough. But enough about Overwatch. We're actually here to continue our story here, the story's Path of Destinies. Now, I do want to apologize. I do apologize for having to end the stream abruptly for personal reasons. Obviously, you know, I try and make sure I keep my personal life very much separate from my enjoyment of streaming and the enjoyment of focusing, you know, more on the games and the developers who actually make these games. Because, like I said, I prefer just doing that. I know a lot of people will just throw their own life in there completely and detail all, but you know, I think at the same time there's also major disadvantages to that too. So why don't we let's actually not worry about that. Let's actually jump straight on in the story's Path of Destinies. Actually continue our game. So actually, just real quick. So the way this game actually has been discovered to work is there's actually multiple endings in this game here. So we've actually uncovered one. Unfortunately, that resulted in our character's death. However, we learned that our old friend, our good buddy Lapito, he's a traitor. He's a traitor, and so that's basically the one main truth. So there's actually 4 truths here. So we have, you know, this weapon we're pursuing. We have our love interest as well, and we have this one other one. I actually don't know what this is for. So we're trying to discover those 4 truths, which will unlock the final ending. So there is actually a way to go through the game and through your choices, discover what that true ending. Discover that true ending. So that's our main focus. That's our main goal. That is, to me, how we are, you know, how or when the game is actually beaten. So that's what makes this game very dynamic. You basically win the game through your eventual failures. Now, you know, unlike, you know, I do criticize a lot of roguelites and such, like Binding of Isaac and such, for doing that sort of thing, but this is more story-driven compared to getting power-ups and such. So that's a little, just, you know, difference between the two here. Although I would be honestly amazed if there actually was a way to go through the game just on your first playthrough, your very first playthrough, and actually unlock everything. I don't think it is, given the way, you know, this map looks, the way the map looks like. But it would be pretty amazing if you actually could do that. But one other interesting aspect, the story does change. So now we know the truth here. Lapino is a traitor, and so the story actually drastically changes, which is kind of interesting because the way the narrator, because this game is heavily focused on the narrator, and you'll see, actually, because I actually won't even have to be much commentary at all, which actually makes it a kind of awesome game to stream. I won't have to do much commentary because the story drastically changes. And, like, okay, if I don't know Lapino is a traitor and I focus on the weapon here, or focus on my love interest here, for example, you know, that story is going to, the narrator's script drastically changes. So I think it'll be really awesome to, you know, this game does warrant multiple playthroughs to actually experience those aspects. So I want to go back here and let's continue our adventure here. Let's see where the game left us off. I had to basically quit outright out of the game, so I don't know when or where we are in our story. Also still has the long loading times. I completely forgot about that. Although I do like the artwork. Very nice on that. So quiet. Something tells me I'm gonna blow myself up though with this weapon. Gonna start on a level, or am I gonna start?
It was the cold, but after a few steps, Renado's optimism started to slump. What if Calaveras couldn't help? Did Renado dare use the Sky Ripper? Oh, he hated that he had chosen this path. It was so much simpler to rescue friends and attack enemies, even if some of those friends were more trouble than his enemies. Some of those enemies had been friends before and might be lovers after. No, okay, it wasn't all that much simpler, no. Physics made his brain hurt. That, at least, he was sure of. Renado wondered if his future self had commissioned these poles.
So, where we are right now, we actually went and got the, we got the weapon. This secret weapon to try and end this war, and we're helping the rebellion, so that's our motivation here. To just basically stop the Emperor. And we're bringing to Calaveras here. He's a scientist who can tell us if this weapon is any use. If we do use it, will it destroy the universe or not? Kind of important. Very important, actually. I mean, who would want to use a weapon knowing it would destroy the universe?
He was practically sure he'd find something useful in one of these things.
And you can say, as you can see, the narrator also really enjoys talking. Enjoys talking a lot. As for combat, you have your grappling hook. You can do a dash that uses up your stamina. Basic attacks. That'll lead to a combo system. You hold down right trigger. That'll actually use your magic for the sword. You can switch swords, so you actually have multiple swords. We currently have 3 out of the 4 swords. Not to be confused with Legend of Zelda.
These platforms were great. Renado wanted one for his house.
And a combo and a house. Yes, a house. And apparently you can slice a raven in half.
He tried to focus on the now. The ravens who seemed everywhere all the time. Where did they hatch from? Were there giant raven hatcheries somewhere, or did they have families? Ooh, he didn't want to think about raven mummies raising their darling raven chicks. Yeah, Calaveras would help. He would make Renado feel better about using the Sky Ripper. And then Renado wouldn't have to worry about ravens ever again.
I do admit, I like the combat. The combat's simple, and yet it's also very effective.
It's a new aerobics craze. Am I right?
Like I said, I think if anything, the narrator will be your, will be the factor of, like, you really actually, if you will enjoy a lot about this game or not. Because if you do, hey, great, you know, you'll... Huh. I don't think I have... No, I don't have the sword for it. Okay, so you do share a magic bar with your swords. Kind of enjoying the attack sword.
Very cool sword, thought Renado. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore.
Imagine not actually getting any pain. Like I said, the game doesn't, you know, this is very much love or hate the narrator. And I actually like that. I actually like the narrator. Looks like I actually went the right way, so let's actually turn around and just actually go the wrong way. Yep, there you go, nice and simple. There we go.
And this is why heroes are called dashing, Renato thought. See? Dashing? Get it?
At least they aren't using puns. At least they aren't using puns. Wow, this game gives you way too much health. Then again, considering the level actually carries your health over from stage to stage, it's actually okay. And of course, your magic will, of course, recover over time, but probably best to actually get a weapon to actually, an item to actually do that for you. Or... was that? Okay, no. Absolutely nothing, just... never mind. Interesting. I thought I could actually go over there. It would have been nice to use my ice sword and open that up. Damn it, I want to destroy the thingies.
As for the gate, well, you could take her or leave her. Sorry. It's best I could do.
We should feel bad for that. Alright, so...
Renato had been focusing all his energies on the Sky River. If Calaveras could not fix it, he'd be out of options. He would have to assault the Imperial fleet empty-handed.
So basically, the little thing following us here is actually the Sky Ripper, which is hopefully the key to end the war, in which we have sacrificed everything and everyone to get there. But we already know Lupino's a traitor, so why should we help him? He's not our friend. Unless we actually need to befriend him and confront him about being a traitor, and...
Renato checked to make sure his sword was still working. Yep.
And of course we can level up. So let's see here. Counterattacking. Actually just gonna increase our sword foo here so we don't have to do the least amount of attacks to start doing our best, the highest damage possible. Oh, and there we are. Here's Calaveras.
Calaveras had never let him down.
Yeah, of course I can make it work better.
But when Renato explained about the strings, Calaveras grew thoughtful.
Oh, strings, you say? Well, the Arcana do speak of the ties that bind the world.
He drew many intricate symbols in the dirt.
Yeah, so, according to my calculations, each time you fire, I'm afraid there's a 1 in 120 chance you'll destroy the universe.
That's pretty good odds. That's like rolling, what, 21 dice and they all come up 6. What are the odds of that?
What? No! It's more like 2.716s in a row.
Anyway, with those odds, it won't happen if I use it just once.
Yeah, no, that's not right. Each time you use it... Okay, look, just don't use it ever.
All right, I guess. As he sailed away from the mountains, Renato could see clouds darkening. Rain? No. Ships. Imperial ships, swarming thick as bees. This was it. The big battle. They could not afford to lose this one. What if it did not go well? What if he had to use the Sky Ripper? Could he gamble the universe? On the other hand, what were the odds of rolling 21 6s in a row?
It's gonna let me roll it. Damn it, Calaveras. See, that's what that's actually what makes it a really good game to stream. You know, just if you have trouble with commentary and stuff, it tells a very good story. You know, it may not be huge on interaction, but it does what it does so well is the story.
Was not going spectacularly well. What had the rebels been thinking? They'd been thinking he would bring the Sky Ripper, or the Iblis Stone, or that he'd sideline Zenobia somehow, or turn her. Couldn't he use the Sky Ripper just once? After all, if chances were 1 in 128, that meant he'd for sure be okay the first time. They'd get worse each time he used it, but the first time would be okay, right? He wasn't sure that it was right. So he didn't fire the Sky Ripper. He just brought it along, in case.
Form of last resort. I think. So we can actually upgrade the fire sword. We still can't upgrade. Or I still can't make the Void Blade. We are saving up for the Void Blade, though. That is our, that's our main goal. That is our main goal right now. So we actually have enough ore to make it. But we don't have enough wind essence. So we're actually going to save our swords. Save our ore. Save our essence. And let's hope to God we don't have to fire this one, the Sky Ripper. Chances are I'll probably fire the Sky Ripper if given the opportunity. And they really have a lot of gates. Nope. Huh. A lot of gates that actually require the Void Sword, I've noticed. And all those are new paths that I can't even actually go to. And that's our level up. Don't need to worry about that. We can take this.
Yanking his own chain, wasn't he?
I should look up to see who did the narration for this. Someone was having too much fun. That is button mashing combat at its best. That's what makes it fun. Let's see. I would like to destroy the invaders' ships, please. You know the funny thing about the story?
The terror of the sandcastles when he was too.
Wait, what? There's the Imperial fleet. What's this go to? Treasure! Always great to see treasure. Let's go. Oh no. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do, but I'll take it. And perfect. Oh, I actually did get hit. I thought I didn't get hit. Really overused the need for that Void Sword. And that's why I'm saving up for it all.
Kill the rebel! Another.
There we go. Hopefully get some health from this stuff. Nope. Oh, finally gives me some more. got a good feeling we'll get the... Well, we'll probably lose. I have a good feeling we'll lose, but... At least we'll learn.
Take a leap of faith, said the inscription.
No.
Someone had told him the odds didn't change just because you had a streak of good luck. His gut told him that was wrong, and he always listened to his gut. On the other hand, 128 chances to win, but one of them would destroy the universe. That seemed a bit serious. Maybe he could defeat the Emperor without firing the Sky Ripper. Maybe he could bluff, but with a real weapon. Like in cards, when you had 3 knaves, but you pretended you had a fizzbin. That could work.
A fizzbin? Ah, come on. There we go. Although I know I missed that completely. At least I have full health. It's a shame, like, it's still, it I feel like it pulls away a little too far. The Nobia, that's who our childhood friend is. Oh, that's probably just gonna blow me up. I can't believe this was actually done in the Unreal 4 engine. Alright. Oh, this is new. Enchanters can buff and heal enemies. Buffed ravens are very dangerous. Got it. Change the course. Nice introduction. They ran out of mana. That's actually not good. Ah, damn. Now it's not going to give me anything. What's going on? Oh.
He set up the Sky Ripper and let it warm up. He would bluff if he had to. Zenobia came out, flanked by a very daunting platoon of ravens. You won't actually use that, she said in that annoying, I know everything because I'm a cat and you know nothing because you're just a fox voice she had. Or I know the odds. Good. Because there's a real chance you could destroy the universe. No, not the first time I use it. The odds are too low. What? No? Yeah, sure. The first time, the odds are practically nothing. They only go up if I use it a bunch more times. No, but that's not how odds work. Didn't you pay attention in class? Now surrender, or I'll use it. Just once, he said. Don't. He felt sure the odds were with him. You had to go with his gut. That's what heroes do. Fire, he said. Please? The Skyripper fired. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. It was awesome. And then he noticed there was a hole in the air. A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into it, widening it. It grew larger, and even larger. Crates fell upwards into it, and the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror, as it poured into the ravenous hole. Ah, 1 in 128. What are the odds? Thought Reynardo, and then everything fell into the hole and was gone.
Well, we destroyed the universe.
Stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learned another true thing. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
Now we've learned. The Skyripper core is unstable. That's another truth. So there's a couple. So that's 2 down. Wonder how we get the others then.
But that meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right? Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Skyripper had surfaced. Reynardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Skyripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Reynardo. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Reynardo really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Interesting. Well, you know what? Since we did the 2, let's actually see what happens if we try and find the temple.
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis stone. It sounded ominous. It sounded powerful. If the Emperor was searching for it, it must be dangerous. And so, Reynardo went ostrich hunting.
New mission, new story, let's go. And hopefully we'll actually have the
Every child
Windblade.
could sing verses about the Skyripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple, another ancient item that was only resurfacing now, drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals? A chest full of old banana peels. There had to be more. There was.
Imagine having all this constant wit being thrown at you. Let's see, is that another one essence? It is. Look, how far am I away? I'll gain the last sword here. I need 4 more wind essence. Still a long way to go, but we now open 3 out of the, well, yeah, 3 out of the 4 doors. Although I will say the thing I've seen most has been
the air
the
here
void.
tasted bitter. The steps were too tall for a person. The entire place felt restless, like it had been vexed to nightmare under the dust, waiting for its hour to come around at last.
There we go. Oh!
He smelled burned fur. His.
Damn it!
Thought Renato. The ravens were already here, cawing in frustration. They were still searching for a way in. Good. Then he hadn't come too late.
Oh, I'm just being careless. Thankfully, there's plenty of health in this game. And we can get a combo threshold to 10. Oh, that actually hurt like a heck. Yep, now I'm in trouble. Honestly, that's probably one of my biggest criticisms when they actually leave you, like, your health carries over from one stage to the next. Was for Castlevania.
A little better.
Only 3 more wind essence. And this will let me open this door. And a new parchment. Find the stone. You have been chosen in this critical mission for your ability to follow orders to the letter without question. Do not believe the naysayers. Your score in the intelligence test is only proof that you are better geared than anyone else to follow orders. Take pride in knowing that I, your emperor, have handpicked you for this mission. Follow the instructions to the letter. Always travel in pairs. Do not look at the engravings on the wall. Do not lose the hermetic box. When you find the stone, immediately place it in the box and seal the box. If you hear a voice in your head, ignore it. Remember, the temple is haunted. Obviously. This is an old temple dedicated to an old evil god. There are blood sacrifices. Of course it would be haunted. Ignore the voice in your head. Remember, ghosts cannot hurt you, but they will try to confuse you. When you hear a voice, take the drowsy pill. You meet another soldier with the stone, and it is not in the hermetic box. Immediately spray them with the drowsy gas. Find the stone, put it in the box, seal the box, and most importantly of all, find the stone. Interesting. I'm actually surprised the narrator doesn't have anything witty to say from that.
He wished there were more pylons he could use the hook on. He really needed to construct additional pylons.
Aha, ha, ha, I see what you did there. I don't need more ore, I need more wind essence. I need to not be blown up. No! What?
Said Renato. He couldn't hear his enemy's answer.
Oh. Is it a grunt in a can? Makes you feel like you can just talk about him. There we go. At least it's very responsive. Always the enjoyable thing about the combat.
Once, he found a Superman issue #1 in mint condition in a jar he'd broken. He planned to keep breaking things until he had the whole series.
Wait, what? Hey, mega chest. Physical resistance. Interesting. There we go. Guess that's the reward for going down this path.
How could a temple to Iblis still even exist? The Transcendent Emperor had destroyed all the shrines of the lost gods after exiling them. Had it been buried in that long-ago battle? Or had Iblis foreseen his fate and hidden it from his enemy?
Questions for later. Is there a chest over here? No, another door though. Huh. Really gonna need to make sure I can actually... Really? Oop. Nope, I'm gonna make the mistake again of attacking and blowing myself up.
Renato was remembering all his old tricks, and some new ones. I really ought to ask for a raise.
Jesus. Oh, come on.
The Ravens, at least, could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with Tomb Raiders.
I need 2 more. One more level. Let's see, increase your max health, so that's 3 truths. Increase maximum sword magic, that'd be nice. More stamina. Can throw distance increased. Let in time after a successful attack until your next action. Dash through enemies. Inflict damage by enemies. If anything, I'll probably just increase my stamina. Or my...
He was more and more extraordinary.
Increase my health. Something tells me... As the that's one thing that I actually kind of do appreciate. It's like, okay, we expect you to lose, but the game will progressively become more difficult still. It's not going to statically be have a static difficulty. That was nice and easy. And here's the Iblis Stone.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager. Thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and Renato wasn't sure he really wanted to be Emperor. Why not capture the core of Sky Ripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. Look to the core, said the stone anxiously.
Interesting. Another choice. Wait, why is it now reading a PlayStation button control as a PlayStation button? That's... Wait, what? And now we're back to choices. And now we're back to the Xbox. Alright, well... Against my better judgment, let's actually go for, Let's just fulfill the Iblis Stone's desires. Blood and death for Iblis.
Why was he listening to a talking rock? Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself. To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies.
See, I think Zenobia is going to be the hardest story, the hardest truth to reveal, because she doesn't have a... It doesn't seem like she has a starting point.
As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Renato had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun. Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent Emperor? Was it the future? Feed it souls, it whispered. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting.
Yay for raising up dark powers. I don't normally take joy in being evil, but I do. Let's see. It's a path of no return. Always all these paths of no return. I make constant decisions in my choice where I actually want to go. Nope. I have a feeling if I press attack again. Oh, good. No, it's just for more ore.
Smelled kind of funky. He hoped he didn't get it in his clothes.
I it still feels like the narrator is basically your main character in this whole thing. Nothing. Longer grappling hook. One other thing I will note is basically although they make the levels longer.
What could he craft with the materials he had? Renato had a pretty good idea, actually.
I think I have enough to actually make the Void Sword finally. Ah, that actually counted. Damn it.
The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Renato. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls. And with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
I shall take the power. By the power of Grayskull. Oh, let's see if we can actually meet that final blade now. And we can. Nice.
This sword from the mystical east could make time itself slow for you.
Can actually upgrade that. Also upgrade the sword as well. Well, I guess the important thing is we've been able to actually finally upgrade all our swords now. And this is what really matters. Get a nice collection of swords. The default weapon of any good adventurer. I could probably access all these new wonderful areas.
Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough.
And thankfully I am. Let's try out this Void Sword here. Oh, I see. You could dash your way through, but you could also use the grappling hook.
Magical jewel. Renato couldn't wait to find a workbench.
Let's go back. Hey, speaking of workbench. Set to increase rare loot by 1%. Alright. You know what? Why not?
His trusty old sword was always a little better when he sharpened it.
There we go. Costs energy. Now even my other sword can finally actually can actually use magic now, and it can heal me, which is very nice. Now that nothing is...
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
Jump down to the sewers. Oh, right. I'll kill you.
Hey, why don't you guys fight in groups? Oh, I know.
What?
Because there's no I in team.
Alright, and a critical chance stone. Interesting. Wait, what? What? Am I just going backwards now or something? I am, actually. I am going backwards. What do I get for my wanton destruction? More progress? Or is it just one big circle? One big circle. It's not a bad thing. Oh, and there's Zenobia. Wondrous blood.
Zenobia was waiting for Renato. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws. Are you here to surrender? She seemed as cocksure as he felt. But she didn't know he had the stone. And I've missed you too, love. He chuckled. She spotted the stone and bolted without another word.
Quickly, we can head her off at the pass.
The new pathway made Renato curious.
Oh! Nope, we know our lesson. Paleontologist, close your eyes, or is it a sword? Is it a key? I guess that's our reward for opening up everything. And a new note. And an attack speed gem. Let's see what this note reads. Dear Zenobia, as you read this letter, you are locked in your chambers, ready to spend your last night before... well, you know. I will not apologize. I know you are too proud to forgive me. I also know you won't resist reading, though. You are a cat. As much as I have tried to educate you like a proper toad, I swear to you, and you have to believe me, that I did not plan all of this when I adopted you. You have always been my special little kitten. That is why I am writing this now, weeks in advance. I know I will not have the heart to do it in the night of the sacrifice. If I think of you as my daughter, then I may change my mind. I must think I am selfish, and yes, I am selfish. Sad little toad that is afraid to die. But what I am doing will ultimately serve the greater good. I want the power. I want it all, and so I will keep my subjects content. Peace for eternity. Even if you hate me now, you can still respect that. You have to. It is the only way I can forgive myself for doing this to you. I will miss you for eternity. Tomorrow, try not to make a scene. Everyone will be watching. Still, with love, Father. He's planning to sacrifice her. What? Father of the Year right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, a workbench. Did he have any jewels he hadn't tried out? He had.
Let's see. 10% chance to deal double damage, increase your attack speed. Interesting. Let's actually just go through the list here. You know what? I've always ignored the attack speed type. Especially if we're going for sword foo. Oh, come on. Ah, bollocks. Interesting. Not really noticing the power of the sword here compared to freezing it.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. Kill her, whispered the stone. You cannot win your rebellion without it. Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
Feed her to the stone? Or spare Zenobia? Well, that's why we came here. And the PlayStation icon appeared again. What the heck is going on here?
With a flick of his wrist, he slashed Zenobia's throat. Her eyes widened even more. And then the light went out of them. Renato felt amazing. Power was rushing into him like water from a burst dam. Oh, yes, exulted the Iblis stone. Tasty. Renato returned to the Farfarer and set a course for the Nexus. The Empire had a communication outpost there. He could call the Emperor directly. It was time to seize the outpost and let the Emperor know what he had done.
I've done a terrible thing. Let's hope we actually learn a proper lesson about this Iblis stone. So we need to first get a box. Then we need to contain the Iblis stone. But for now, we shall relish in our chaos.
The Nexus was beautiful. He never realized how beautiful. Everything glowed. The wind was so sweet. The sun so soft. The stones so warm. The black raven feathers. Black feathers. Suddenly, his eyes are filled with them. He's falling through smoke under a dead sun. A voice calls him home. Is this a vision? Whose? Is this the time of the lost gods? Or the future? No matter. What mattered now was killing his way to the Imperial outpost and challenging the Emperor from there. This was definitely better than pulling yourself up in a bucket.
Our game's so lighthearted, it is also very dark. There we go. So I guess each sword has a maximum level of 2. Yeah, see, everything's like basically stuck behind the Void Sword.
Ah, the road less traveled, thought Renato. How intriguing.
Anything? Nope. Okay. Anything? Yeah, I think the reason why I enjoy like very simple games like this is, you know, at the same time devs basically get to learn how to actually use an engine. At the same time, they basically can do something very creative. Nope. Let's not do that. Give me those shields.
Who leaves these chests everywhere? Wondered Renato. I should send him a thank you note.
Wait, what? Oh. Wrong direction. I guess if I want ore, it comes from all.
Ahead was Lapino. What was he doing here? Bernardo! Hey, buddy. Hey there, old buddy. Please don't kill me.
I'm going to kill him.
Why would I kill you? Asked Renato, although he had been thinking about it. Well, you've become... no, I mean, no disrespect at all here. Kind of evil? Maybe you should, I don't know, go to the mountains to have a think? See if maybe you're sure the stone is not all that healthy a thing to keep? I suppose you wanted, Renato said, and poked Lapino in the chest for emphasis. Oh, had he just killed Lapino? Oh, damn it.
Well, sorry, Lapino. You were a traitor. I don't mind killing you now that I know that.
He'd go to the outpost, use their far speaker, tell the Emperor what he'd done, and then he'd go to the secret rebel base, let them know he was ready to lead them to victory.
I'm gonna slaughter everyone at that base.
If I craft a sword now, it's gonna be really short.
Why would a sword be really short if you craft it? Oh, I actually don't have enough essence to do any of this. Oh! Is that all of them?
Renato rampaged through the Imperial outpost like a water buffalo rampaging. At the last moment, he remembered not to kill the far speaker toad. After all, he wanted a word with the Emperor. But there was only silence. The Emperor was scared, like little girl. Well, he would gather the rebel army and slaughter the Imperial fleet. Yes! Applauded the Iblistone. Tremendous. Then the Emperor would have to answer his far speaker, wouldn't he? Who are you? Asked a distant voice that sounded uncomfortably like Zenobia. What have you become? The mountains. Go to the mountains, urged another that sounded a bit like Lapino.
Well, it sounds like the Iblistone wants me to go there, but I also listen to those distant voices. Interesting. Something tells me I bet if I go to the rebel base, I'll destroy everyone. Let's actually explore this.
Renato called the rebel council to let them know to gather their forces. Then he killed the far speaker toad. Why? Oh, because to make sure his sword was sharp. Oh no, that's awful. So no one else could use it. Yes, that's it. Then he set off for the ruins and the secret rebel base.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up killing everyone. Everyone is going to die. Including my... I'll end up dying. I don't know why my voice just suddenly went this direction, but it did.
The ruins were crawling with ravens. Probably looking for the secret base, Renato thought. But then he realized they're probably looking for me. They must be very scared of me. Well, here I am. You honest warrior. whispered the Iblisstone. And he had to agree with it, for once. Who was as good as Renato? There had to be something useful in these things, didn't there?
Alright. I think I need, what, 2? Probably actually don't really need to increase my health, but I don't want to take the chance. Oh, good. Just in case of those one-shot situations. Which I could easily see happening.
There was an inscription. No spitting.
Workbench. I believe we can now. We can upgrade this actually. Masamune is melancholic bad guys. There you go. That's 2 of our swords upgraded. Oh my god, there are so many paths we could take. This is ridiculous. Nope!
Didn't smell any better dead, Renato thought.
Almost throw myself into the fire. Oh my god, so many different paths, so many ores to get. All this treasure.
That was always a rush.
I can only imagine having to design these levels. That was easy. Or treasure hunter. Just throwing back. It does just throw me back. Okay. Put that up. Actually, you know what? Why not? Combat hasn't been too difficult, whereas speed seems to be a thing. Get extra loot? Why not? Damn it!
Urged the stone. Come to think of it, Renato thought as he put down another raven, why shouldn't I be emperor? How did anybody get to be emperor anyway? By making war. Not counting the transcendent emperor, obviously, who had banished the lost gods and started time. Yes, he should be emperor. He would make a great emperor. Right, Stone?
Oh, that is...
Sleep tight, thought Renato.
That was kind of scary. There we go. The narrator can apparently communicate with the Iblis Stone. Ooh.
The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good. If only he had some way to trace you out. Or convince it to play.
Damn it. Not mean to attack him. Boom to your doom. Well, that's where the rebel base is. I don't need to go there yet. There's also a chest here, actually.
I wonder what happens if I go that way.
I think there was. Wasn't there one over here? Nope, guess not. Well, I'm going this way. I don't know about you. Ah, I saw a treasure. Nice. Physical resistance to level 3.
Renato strode into the council. Let's do this thing. Let's make me emperor. They looked confused and nervous. Ah, had he mentioned the emperor thing? He meant to bring that up later. I mean, let's go win this rebellion. He waved his sword around encouragingly. They ran. Cowards. He'd stop them. He cut down a few to inspire the others. But soon, there was no one to cut down. Well then, he'd have to attack the fleet alone. More for me, he said. Unless it was the stone that said it. Traitors. Traitors, all of them. They'd run rather than following him, rather than cheering him. What should he do to the cowards? Anything he wanted to. After all, he was a true hero, the best warrior there ever was. No one could stop him now. But first, finish him. The Emperor, that is.
Always good to be the bad guy. No presents under his tree.
Where was the rebel fleet? They weren't even trying an assault. They were going to miss a day in history. The downfall of this dynasty, and a new one to take its place. He didn't have to kill all the ravens. He could enslave them, and enslave the toads too. All the animals would worship him as a god, for he had once been a god. They would willingly give him their blood and their souls. And the world would change, would become familiar again. The mysterious sword from the east made you so fast you could catch a fly with your chopsticks. If that's what you really wanted.
Probably don't want that. Anything? Nope. Don't even have a level to put in. Oh, nice. Elemental resistance. I guess now we're attacking the fleet by ourselves. Frozen Wasteland. I just missed the ship. Okay, good. I didn't.
once met a pirate captain. He used hooks to get around his ship. Oh, what was his name again?
There we are. Probably get our own soul consumed, and as we revived all the old gods.
Was glowing with dark power. Already the sun had dimmed. He could do anything, he realized. He could wrap the island safely in smoke again. He was beyond a hero. He was going to become a god again. How odd, he thought, that the Iblis Stone had nothing to say about any of this. Well, no matter. Once he killed this petty-toed emperor, he would bring back the black. He beat Renato at hot potato.
Forays discovered. Oh, wonder what that achievement is. Nope! Oh, I'm gonna die.
He was a bard when you needed one.
Let's actually see if we can find the Emperor himself. Since we've just been fighting Zenobia. Is this it? That's it.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Funny that this whole war had come about because the Emperor feared death. And now it was coming for him. There was some sort of lesson there, wasn't there?
That? Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, it's a door. For a second, I thought it was going to blast me. No other option.
He found the Emperor and the Council huddling by his ship, plotting. They saw him and cowered before him.
Back to hell, fiend.
Croaked the Emperor desperately.
In the name of the Transcendent Emperor.
Croaked the speaker. They held some arcane items he didn't recognize. He simply flexed his will and sucked their souls out of their bodies. And Iblis exulted. It is finished. And the void that had been a mere stone on a sword expanded. It stretched and ripped like a vast womb. And a gaze, black and pitiless as the sun, passed through the void into the land. And so time ended.
Well, we've destroyed the world twice.
Just like that, he was alive again, and back on the Farfarer, still fleeing burning Ubar. The book was still open before him. So, the book was a portal. It took you to the future when your destinies would branch. He had failed and died 3 times, but he'd learned another true thing. The Iblis Stone was evil. It would try to corrupt anyone who used it.
There we go. So the question is, how do we take care of Zenobia? How do we take care of that? Quite the predicament we're in here. So we need to get her to her side. We know that he is evil, but she needs to stay alive. And she only comes into play in the middle of a story. Interesting.
But he was starting to feel like he was getting the hang of this. There was a way through to victory. He could feel it. He just had to keep running the path of Destinies. With that, the book fluttered back to the beginning, and he fell into it. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renata knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Now that we've done all three here, you need to actually figure out what's going on here. I think, if anything, if we try and go for the Sky Ripper, save Zenobia, that might lead us to where we want to go. So, let's go with that.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces deep. And then, this Emperor's horrific sacrifices had brought it back to the surface. Renato wasn't exactly sure how to use the legendary weapon. But surely, there must be some way to do it without provoking another catastrophe. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the Earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
So getting the basic truths are no problem. It's being able to actually get to Zenobia and discover what her truth is.
As he set foot on the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Renato felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Now I see why the game gives you so much stamina, so you can actually just dash everywhere. I don't even think I have enough.
Quite enough, thought Renato.
Yeah, no. Only 2 swords left. Got enough wind essence and water essence, I just need enough ore. A lot of ore I'm gonna need, though. me.
He hadn't noticed that path before.
Ah, darn it. What? Come on. Back up. There we go.
That had been his mistake before, thinking he could win a battle of wills with an ancient evil all by himself. He had to be cleverer than that. Or braver. Or something.
The truth behind the Sky Ripper is shrouded in a thick fog. The most believable tale is that the Transcendent Emperor had used the Sky Ripper to banish Iblis. Then the TE, I still don't know what that is, buried the weapon and vanished itself. Was it self-imposed to rid the world of its last divine presence, or was it a price to pay for using such a tremendous power? Could the Sky Ripper and Iblis have a deeper connection than just a weapon and its victim? My rituals will summon the Iblis Stone. Perhaps I should worry that they will also cause the Sky Ripper to resurface. If that's the case, I should spare no resources to find it. A weapon that can banish a god is an invaluable bargaining chip should the old ones decide to double-cross me. Oh, it's the journal again. That's odd. How'd I end up here?
Ice walls only let you through if they knew you were cool.
I wonder if the doors go both ways. Energy.
Felt hot in his hand. He could feel its secret power.
Nice energy on kill. That'll be nice. Well, since there is a way back, and that's the way I was going before. Interesting. Anything else? Ah, bollocks. What? Jerk.
I hope his mother wasn't watching.
Oh, what? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's just great. I just walked into a fight for no... Well, I still got experience. I guess it is worth it. Bollocks.
Anyone ever tell you have a lovely eye? No?
There we go. I guess the downside about this game, obviously, is you're gonna have to replay levels over and over again. But I guess that just depends. Okay. I don't really see the advantage to using this wind saber, or the void saber here.
Actually, it already did.
Oh, It's easily my worst fight. Oh no! Yep.
He thought. A doctor once told Renato that fruit was a placebo, but he felt better. That was what was important.
Oh, it's fruit's placebo. And there we go. Now we can actually do some instant killing. And there's the stone.
There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
So, I'm actually going to take this path here. Because despite not putting it together, it might lead to something with Zenobia.
Renato asked himself why he changed course to confront Zenobia. He'd no idea. Sometimes he would just do things, and he could never figure out why he'd done them. Usually, they worked out. After all, he was a hero.
No, he isn't. Or rhetoric telling that he's a hero every single time. Quite bothersome. We can probably get one more ending before we wrap things up.
The truth is, though, he wanted to see her, wasn't it? It had been a dozen years since Swordfu School. He'd followed every rumor about her, every scrap of news. Not that he still loved her. After all, she was his enemy. No, it was solely because know your enemy. But it would be great to see her. Even if they faced off across sword points, as they'd done so many times at school. The world was a less interesting place without her.
See Zenobia. Wow, these things can actually take a hit. Running out of pockets.
Who made all these ore chests anyway? Well, you could have quite a business doing that.
Go back to Frost, since now I have full health again. go. That's what we needed. Hey, Castatino. How's it going? It's going well. Already unlocked 3 out of the 4 truths. Now, the problem is, though, is Zenobia.
Hey, did you guys ever learn to swing dance?
But things are going smooth. So I've died 3 times already. I consider that to be progress. Considering this game is one of those games where it wants you, narratively, it wants you to fail. Which I'm okay with. But I still would like to know if you actually could beat the game in 1 run. Although I doubt you could.
Ooh, wouldn't this gauntlet look swell with that jewel in it?
What do I have right now? Physical resistance spell. Oh yeah, that's right. Energy on kill. That was the new one I got. Killing enemies gives you 3% of your sword back. Yeah, let's just go with the rare loot. Because we want to actually max out our swords as soon as possible. Is there anything else I could do here? Yes, there's a chest. Always nice. Only 50 more, and I can upgrade the one of the swords.
Hey, I'm a firefox, thought Renato.
Oh, okay, so you have to do it at the very least 5 playthroughs then is needed. Huh, interesting. Oh, come on, really? Surprised I actually got hit from that. Well, that's a bit of a shame. I had to do 5. And of course, I could still screw up on the way. That's unfortunate.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he? He needed some way to break the ice with this wall, so to speak.
There we go. And there's the attack speed. Oh no, it certainly does. I mean, that's the point. And that's what it tries to do. It tries to levy its strength through its narrative. Well,
Ha! Bet you never saw that coming.
so if it wants you. Well, now we know what happens if you actually get spotted.
Renato wasn't entirely sure how he was going to capture Zenobia. She'd be expecting him. And he didn't have Lapino to cook up a clever plan. Why was it again that he hadn't got the core? Maybe because the results tended to be disastrous. These streets were familiar. The Swordfu School was closed now, but he had been down that street 1,000 times. He knew that pub. He knew that alley. He knew the alley. Chosen to invade his house. That's how we do it, said Renato to himself.
There we go. There's that letter again. We actually just read this earlier. Apparently he wants to sacrifice her. I think, do we have enough gems? Oh no, we've got more. Ah, damn it. I see what's going on now. What? That was a terrible fight. That's terrible. Father of the Year. Yeah, no kidding. Then again, it hasn't been the first time since they actually did that. And I didn't catch her. What's going on?
Renato slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally, he reached her bedroom. She was curled up on her bed. Oh, he'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek. How soft. He tapped her on the shoulder with his sword. She vanished. And he suddenly noticed he couldn't move except his mouth. In fact, soon he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He told Zenobia everything. Skyripper, the Iblistone, even where the secret rebel base was, until he was hoarse. It was some kind of truth spell. A talky truth spell.
I screwed up.
She called her father by Farspeaker Toad and filled His Majesty in. But why didn't he get the core? Croaked the Farspeaker in something like His Majesty's croak. Because I missed you, darling. Renato grinned. He doesn't even know why, frowned Zenobia. That makes no sense. It's a trap, shouted the Emperor. I'll meet you at the outpost, and I'll bring my interrogators. If Renato came face to face with the Emperor, maybe he could assassinate him. But maybe it would be smarter and safer to turn Zenobia against her father.
Well, I know which option I want to pick here.
What are you doing? Asked Zenobia. Did you ever wonder why the Emperor adopted you? He asked her. She shook her head. He told her. His Majesty wanted to bring the lost gods back. They could make him an eater of souls, an immortal. But to seal his bargain with them, he needed a sacrifice. Someone who truly loved him. She was stunned. Furious. You're lying. Under a truth spell? It's a trick. You can't prove that. Take me to the observatory, and I will.
I don't even have the core. Hopefully this will lead us to Zenobia's truth.
What kind of proof could you possibly have? She said as they landed on the Nexus. Your father ritually sacrificed a village, and he left witnesses? The scientists resurrected one. Well, it's not really alive, but it can talk. A true witness. She frowned. The dead can't lie. Well, I bet they could. They just don't have any reason to. She nodded grimly. You go on ahead. I don't want the Ravens to see me.
Alrighty. Oh, this is a new stage. Oh, hopefully it's a new stage. And apparently we took our ship. You never went down this path? Oh, huh. So, here's my question then to you, Casatino. How many times did it take you to beat this game?
All over the platform for really hot lady foxes, with pictures and addresses and everything.
Hello? Quickly, someone call the furry community. Sure, they will enjoy that. Oh, nothing. Well, if you went down this path, that means... chances are...
What was really fun was hooking yourself onto a moving ship.
Oh yeah, right. Alright, let's see where this takes us. Okay, just right to the back. Nice. Really? It only took you 5 times. Oh, well, something doesn't mean I screwed up then. Good to know. I can't believe it only took you five times to beat it. I'm also kind of hoping for a minimalist path. Oh, what? Oh, come on. What is going on here? Not forget it. Or we could not forget it. Rose and the Fox. Really kind of wish I knew how I was getting all the achievements. Anything else? Nope. Alrighty, let's keep moving forward.
She caught up with him.
Oh.
Don't you think I'd know if my father wanted to invoke the Lost Gods? Would he tell you? No. Would you help him? No. I'd burn his books. Why'd he adopt a stray cat? You don't ask a thing like that. No, not when there's no good answer. She said, her whiskers twitching.
Right, well, we can go back.
Odd that they never locked these things.
Alright, let's go. Not really on the type of hero that wants to get the girl and got it mostly by accident. Nice. Everyone always enjoys a good... Everyone enjoys a good story like that once in a while.
The scientist at the observatory had a true witness to one of the Emperor's blasphemous rituals. The dead could be made to speak for a short while. Interestingly, they could not be made to lie. After all, what do they have to lose or gain by lying?
Still way off.
Energy spheres. Easy to dodge, but boy do they sting if you didn't pay attention.
Oh, come on. It's weird that the combat actually becomes more in-depth as you play through it.
Renato told the corpses. It was something he'd seen in a play once.
Sorry, I hate this part. I thought you didn't go through this route. There we go. Health, energy. And the observatory was completely destroyed. Great. Oh, damn it.
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists and black feathers everywhere. The ravens had burned the reanimated witness to cinders. Renato was stunned. There goes my proof. These were scientists, not rebels, Zenobia said, upset. Why would he do this? I don't know. Let's go to the fleet and ask him. Yes. I'll meet you in the mountains. There's something I have to get first. But could he afford to meet her in the mountains? He'd given the Empire the location of the secret rebel base. They would need rescuing.
No, let's go with Zenobia.
Why was he going to meet up with her? Wasn't it more important to rescue the rebel council from the almost certain Imperial attack? Why was he in this war anyway? Was he ready to fight the good fight, or did he just want to see her again? One of these days, Renato thought, I should really figure out my motives before I pounce. Nah.
I don't know. It's just kind of annoying when you screw up that little section. Because it really actually isn't difficult. Although then again, they didn't exactly make it life-threatening. I mean, if it just killed you right off the bat, okay.
True? Was he on this adventure just to see Zenobia again? The Imperial heir was not an easy cat to see. Well, she'd ignored all his Kwanzaa gifts. And on the other paw, trying to get a date by joining a war against your intended was, let's say, pretty optimistic. But on the back paw, thought Renato, yes, it sounded exactly like him. Good, I'm so glad we had this little chat, he told himself.
Let's see.
Look, it's not personal, but you're so
And Flame's gonna start needing to actually get a lot more experience. I haven't come across like an attack damage. Oh! Not even gonna risk it.
Sometimes, Renato really hated inanimate objects.
Yeah, I think it's okay to actually... It's okay to use it in situations like this, where they want you to replay levels over and over and over again. But at the same time, it is, like I said, that's probably the biggest con of this game, is you're gonna have to be going through the storyline over and over again. Oh, don't worry, I blew myself up quite a few times already. Alright.
There was a pleasant breeze coming through that door. Had it been closed before?
No. Oh, I shouldn't waste my dash. Oh. Point of no return.
The platform used a hybrid propulsion system fueled by anti-gravity and...
I mean, the combat is nice and short.
Ravens along the side of the road. Someone had rampaged through here on a killing spree. What had Zenobia gone to get? He had a chilling feeling it was the Ignis stone. Zenobia was left behind. A stone could make anyone bloody. somebody had been watching.
Hopefully she didn't get the Iblis Stone. I'd like to wonder how she got the Iblis Stone. There we go. I do like that everything you look at this stage is it's very much like Dark Souls. You know, oh, maybe not like Dark Souls. Ah, come on. They attacked the power-up thing. No problem. No problem at all. Almost forgot about that. Oh, they actually fell through the floor. God damn it. Did not want that to happen. I'm actually surprised they let it fall through the floor. I think she killed her. They probably had to kill everyone, and I'm probably gonna die here. Oh, I can dash through these. Nice. Well, at least make it a little bit faster. How do I... No. Wait, I know. There we go.
I wondered idly if people who had built these poles had really, really long tentacles.
Let's go the route we've never been before. Ooh, this is a long way. Oh, and another note. This is new. Dear Zenobia, do you remember that expedition I have sent to the depths beneath the islands? They have returned. Well, 3 ships have returned, out of the 8 I sent. Of course, I mourn the losses, but the knowledge the survivors brought back is invaluable. What they have experienced is incredible. The air gradually grows denser and more turbulent. It becomes suffocating, bone-crushing thunderstorm. But the islands keep stretching for miles below the surface, and they have roots that radiate downward, far beyond sight. The islands are alive. This is the proof I was looking for. The thick air of the depths keep them afloat, and in the depths they find their sustenance. Do they have a conscience? Are they aware of our existence? Or are we merely parasites that they ignore or tolerate? I must prepare another expedition. This time, I will go myself. I need to see this wondrous world of the endless deep sky. I hope you will visit me before I leave. I would like to hear more about that new friend of yours. Nardo. With love, Father. Aww. Well, let's get this thing to blow that up. Thank you! Okay. Ah, damn it, I did it again. Nope! Ah, bollocks. Fine. Ice time. Man, these powered up ravens just don't die.
just behind, door number 2.
Energy on kill, level 2. Nice. Critical chance, level 3. Oh, and that took us where we were before. Let's get this destroyed. That.
Renato wondered what he should do when he found Zenobia. What could he do if she had the Iblis stone?
Well, we're about to find out. There we go. Yep, she got the Iblis stone.
He reached the summit, expecting no one. But there she was, steaming, pacing. "I'm gonna kill him," she said. "I'm gonna kill all these ravens, and then him, and then his family, and all the eggs and tadpoles. And then I'm gonna burn down their pond." "Did you go and get the Iblis stone?" "You see, all these ravens I killed. So much power." "Yeah, great," Renato said. "You really want power from a demonic rock?" You want the stone, don't you?" Not really." "Good. I'd rather not have to kill you." He told her he loved her, that he wouldn't let the Iblis stone take her, even if he had to die for it. Well, he planned to tell her. Now didn't seem like the right time. She'd probably cool off in a bit. So he let her get in her ship and fly off. He rushed back to the Farfarer and followed her, keeping a healthy distance. Zenobia's ship was just visible through the clouds ahead. How could he reason with her? But he had to. The rebels were down for the count. No wonder. He betrayed the location of their base and then he'd abandoned them. And if she became Empress while she was in the grip of the Iblis stone, if she became Empress by murdering her father, she could still be a great Empress. But she could also be a nightmare Empress. She had to be stopped.
Well, never so much for saving Zenobia. If anything, unfortunately, I'm gonna take one brief moment. This actually just take a while to load. I'm going to pause this real quick, and I'll be right back.
There were more dead ravens along his path, some of them wounded in the back. He knew she could have easily talked her way past them, or clouded the little tiny raven brains with a spell. She was going out of her way to kill everything in her path. This wasn't Zenobia, not as he knew her.
I'll be right back, 1 second. Pausing this, I'll be back. Alrighty, and we're back. Sorry about that.
Go sticking jewels in your gauntlet just anywhere. What if you dropped one and broke it? Luckily, there was a bench right here.
It says 20% chance to deal double damage. That's not bad, actually. Not really. I don't see the purpose of the loot one. Like, if it was an experience one, I would say it would actually be better. But since we are lacking on damage, in favor of instant kills. Speaking of which, we can actually probably use some health. Let's go get the skin. More loot!
Had that door been opened before?
Yes, yes it had, but I just want more loot. Because apparently it always gives you a new stone. There we are.
His hook didn't break.
Great. I get to kill Zenobia.
His beloved was possessed by the spirit of a demon. That's what it meant to be a hero. To brave the darkness in your loved one's soul. To have faith there was still good in her. To help her out of that darkness, no matter what the cost. But what? What could he do? She'd kill him if he tried to take the Iblis stone from her. You know what I hate about you guys? Everything.
Oh. What? Ah, come on. Oh, great. They're all powered up, and I don't have any stamina now. That didn't fight
When
me.
Ronaldo went to the china shop, for some reason the owner was always nervous.
Wow, they really actually went out of the way to make as many lines as they could. I don't think I've heard a repeat line from this entire game so far. Actually, no, I have. What am I saying? Well, okay, in terms of the jokes. It's not the target I wanted to attack.
There was an inscription. Balalet.
You know what? I could actually see that being one of the lines in this game. I could easily see seeing that being one of the lines. And here we go again. So 5 HP per strike. What? Oh, I guess I just don't have enough magic. Alright. Let's see what happens.
At the end of the trail of raven corpses was Zenobia. Her father was frantically rigging a strange apparatus wrapped around a glowing core. "Don't do it!" he shouted. "You'll hate yourself in the morning. Stay back!" She screamed in a horrible voice he'd never heard before. It froze him in his tracks. The Emperor stared at him. "Run," he told the toad, "or hop." But he didn't manage to voice it, only think it. Zenobia stabbed her blade forward, and His Majesty fell dead. She began laughing hysterically. "Or was she weeping?" "Just walk away," she laughed at him. "I've no more use for you." There was something he needed to do, but he couldn't figure out what it was. So he did as he was told. As he walked away, he felt a chill in the world. The light in the sky seemed to dim. He didn't dare turn. He had a nagging feeling there was something he should have done just then. Something heroic. But he could not have taken the ablest stone from her by force, and she would not have parted with it willingly. A cold wind blew from where she had been, but he still didn't dare turn. And then, an awful laughter filled the air, and all the torches and all the ships went out, and he realized what he should have done. But by then, it was too late to do anything. Oh, damn it. He lost again, and died. But there was burning Ubar behind him. He still had all his destinies ahead of him. But he'd learned another true thing. Zenobia still had feelings for him.
Is that her truth? It is the truth. 2 levels. So now that I know all 4 things, now it just comes to making... I guess it's now the only thing I have to do is try and actually figure out what the right path is. So now, hopefully, I can beat the game. Hopefully. That was the important thing. Regardless of which... So regardless of which actual story ending you get, which is apparently is a lot of them, they'll unlock the truth. But I think that's gonna end it for us tonight. I just wanted to finish this one last path that I started on. So, well, I mean, sorry, I feel like it made it short for you, Casatino. We'll definitely pick this up tomorrow, though, and hopefully we'll actually, we'll beat the game. But it definitely is a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Hopefully you enjoyed the corruption of Zenobia as well. But until then, though, give me 1 second. Let me see here. Is there anyone I know that is currently streaming right now? Wow. Okay, there actually is no one currently streaming. I'm a little shocked on that. Usually Fleckblag is actually streaming right about now. It would be perfect to host. I usually recommend him. He's actually, if you enjoy a nice chill stream, and I usually recommend it, especially if you enjoy games like Binding of Isaac, Enter the Gungeon. But for now, though, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Tomorrow, we should be able to, hopefully we'll be able to finish this off, or we just consistently let ourselves die over and over again. Either way, it'll be entertaining. So, until then, though, thank you very much for watching. Until then, take care.